we need to honor the fallen. Those who understood in their last final breath of life that our flag, those beautiful stars and stripes, represents what has best been described as the beacon of light, the hope of mankind, that shining city on a hill, the most beautiful, the most bountiful, the most charitable people in the history of the world. The country that has birthed the great titans of science and industry, the country that put a man on the moon, the country that has liberated tens of millions worldwide. That's why, Tom, we're called the home of the brave. We are truly the undisputed champion of freedom, the great republic, and that's the United States of America.
If there was ever a video that you've watched from beginning to end, this should be it. Please watch every moment, because on Memorial Day, we honor those who have fallen to give us the freedoms we have. In this snapshot you're looking at, the men are all alive in this photo. Unfortunately, most of them did not make it after they stormed the beach that they were about to storm. So, please watch this from beginning to end as Frank, my guest historian, explains the true meaning of Memorial Day and gives you the true feeling of what it should be to be a true American and appreciate what our military has done and currently does to give us our freedoms in the United States of America.
My name is Tom, your host with WeaponsEducation.com, and I am standing in the United States of America in Southeast Florida. Very proud to be an American, and this is an important day to talk about Memorial Day, and I've got a special guest to introduce to you, Mr. Frank Correa, a historian, a Marine. This man is going to be a staple on the channel. He is a wealth of information about every war that's taken place in America and all the fallen. We are at a special place right now, and Frank will talk about that. We're going to ultimately go to the studio. We're going to talk about how fortunate we are to have the freedoms we have, the men who have fallen to give us these freedoms, and Frank being a former Marine, member of the FAST company, Fleet Anti-Terrorism Security Team, the Pacific. He's got the credentials. He is a true historian. There's a link below to a video Frank and I did where he's walked tens of thousands of students through this war museum. You gotta watch that video to really get a good grasp on what our veterans have actually done to give us the freedoms we have in America. With that said, let me introduce to you Frank, our new staple, my friend and best friend and partner to the channel. What do you got to say, Frank?
Tom, I'm thrilled to be here. Okay, I'm very blessed and honored to be part of your show now. And I got to tell you, we picked a really great occasion to do this video because we're honoring ultimately the people that make everything happen. And what I mean by that is the freedoms and the benefits and the opportunities that our children have been paid with the blood and the sacrifice of those who have fallen on all over the earth, so that we can have this channel and we can talk to people. And Memorial Day is a very special day that we take time out to honor those men and women that have fallen over the years for the last 241 years.
I want to share this with at least 10 people.
Oh yeah.
Right? Click that bell, subscribe. But Frank, we are standing here with thousands of names of men who have and women who have fallen to give us our freedom. We've got the flag behind us.
It's very moving. It's very moving. You have their names and the dates that they served, and there's names going back to World War II. A lot of sacrifice on these walls you see behind us. Memorial Day is a day that it's important that we pause. Now, yeah, I know a lot of us are going to have barbecues. We're going to go to the beach, and that's fine. But make it a point to sit down with your family and friends and your children and say, hey, this is what this day is really about. And it's about sacrifice, and it's about bloodshed. for people that really truly love this nation.
Frank's got a wealth of knowledge. We're going to go to the studio now and continue talking about history of the United States of America and talk about those who have fallen to give us the freedoms we have. Let's go there right now.
Let's do it.
Welcome to WeaponsEducation.com. Well, Frank, welcome to the studio, and thank you for traveling from Clearwater, Florida, all the way down here to Southeast Florida to specifically show respect to our veterans on this Memorial Day. And before I turn it over to you, please, everyone in the audience, not only, of course, subscribe to the channel, but please share this with everyone you know, to at least 10 people, because it's so important that we as Americans show our respect to our veterans, the people who are currently serving. Send this to 10 people and put it on your Facebook. And, you know, Frank, you being a historian, you being a Marine, let's talk about what it means to be an American and how fortunate we are. What do you have to tell the world right now?
We're very fortunate, Tom. We're very, very fortunate. In fact, we are truly blessed to live in this great country, and the reason we have everything we have, our jobs, our families, the freedoms, the opportunities for our children, it's because people have paid a price. They've paid a price, and they've paid that price with their blood and their sacrifice of their lives.
24 hours I do not think is enough time to show respect for our veterans. It should be something embedded in people's minds on a daily basis. If you see anyone wearing a hat, you know they've served, go up to that man or lady, thank them. If you see someone currently serving, spend the time to show the respect to them, thank them.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Tom. And you know, I encourage parents to sit down with their kids. Today is a day, of course, we're going to have hot dogs, hamburgers. Some people are going to go to the beach. They're going to have family around. Let's have a picnic. It's the beginning of summer. But make it a point to gather your loved ones around you and talk about what is the meaning of this Memorial Day and the Memorial Days in the future. You know, I really appreciate what you're doing, Tom. I really, really do. I enjoy your videos. They're very informative. You know, your equipment, the leather gear, I just saw a lot of your stuff. It's amazing, top quality stuff. And I carry around in my pocket, and my wife will tell you this, I carry these small little flag pins, and I keep them around. I keep a couple of them in my pocket because whenever I run into good patriotic Americans, people that love this country and they're contributing somehow to it, I like to give it to them. But when I give it to them and I hand it to them, I tell them, that forgotten country I fought for you. My son, my only child, currently fights for you. Will you wear this for us? And I really appreciate it, Tom. You can check out the link below. You can see a great video that Tom and I worked on. You get to see Tom having a really good time in an MA Greyhound. He wanted to bring it back down here, and but it was a great thing. But yeah, Tom, you know, again, Memorial Day. Let's honor those, you know, that have paid the ultimate price. Our grounds in this country and all other continents are soaked with the blood of American soldiers, airmen, sailors, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen, merchant Marines that went to faraway places and saved this country. Not only saved our country, but they saved our world. And we should honor them every day, and honor them by honoring those who are alive today. But thank you, Tom. I really want to give you one last final thought, though.
Hold that thought, because I got a thought.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier, if there was another country in the world to move to, what would it be? Is there... And we couldn't come up with one.
No, you can't. You know, I've been around the world, okay, and not necessarily as a tourist. And I'm here to tell you that, honest to God, the standard of living that we have here today, okay, The opportunities for our children are endless. What we call poor in this country is rich in some. And I've been in places, I know my son has been in places where people would give anything to live in this beautiful, beautiful, wonderful country. Sure, there's been mistakes, absolutely, and we acknowledge that, and that's part of being a historian, is to talk about the good and the bad. But we've also paid prices in rectifying a lot of those mistakes in the past. And the reason why we have this is really because of the wonderful men and women that for the last 241 years have stood up and taken that oath and defend us today. And they're doing that right now. Yeah.
Thank you. And your final thought?
Well, you know, this is a final thought that I used for thousands of people over the years, many speaking engagements. And my final thought is this: when you turn your computer off today and you go about your daily lives, sooner or later you have no choice. You're going to run into a veteran. And that veteran may come in different forms. He could be that fellow that's stocking shelves in your local supermarket. She could be that nurse that's taking care of you in the hospital when you're feeling ill one day. When you meet that veteran, no matter what shape or form they may come in, please, please do me a favor. Shake their hand. Give that nurse a hug. Because the only thing that a veteran truly wants is for his country to love him as much as he loves it. May God bless you. May God bless our children and their children's children. And may God continue to bless the indivisible, the great republic, the United States of America. Thank you, Tom.
Amen. Thank you.